How's it going, everybody? It's your boy SESvince, and today we're going to be predicting the matches for this Sunday's Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Now, this is one of the most anticipated and stacked Royal Rumble matches in recent memory. There's literally like 5 to 10 different competitors that can win the match itself. But why don't we start off with the kickoff show? We have 2 matches slated for that as of this recording, so why don't we get started? Now, first off, we have Sasha Banks taking on Nia Jax. Now, for the last couple weeks, Sasha's really had her ass whooped by Nia, except for last Monday's Raw where she got some measurement of retribution. I don't know. But regardless, I do feel like Sasha's going to win this match by DQ or count out or something like that. But like, Nia's going to end up looking like the dominant woman out of the two when it's all said and done. But officially in the record books, Sasha Banks is going to get the W. So that's my prediction for that match. The second match on the kickoff show will be a Raw Tag Team Championship match between Cesaro and Sheamus and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. The special stipulation that was added to this match on Monday Night Raw was that there's going to be 2 referees assigned to the match to ensure that there's no controversial finish like there was a couple weeks back when the club initially won the tag titles but then had the decision reversed by the second referee that was knocked out by a Sheamus Bro Kick. I'm gonna go and predict and say that the club used that second referee to their advantage and caused some miscommunication between not only the 2 refs but also Cesaro and Sheamus. They can go on and, do some rematches at Fastlane or whatever, but I feel like the club should carry that tag team division since it seems like the New Day aren't really going to be jumping back into the title picture relatively soon, and Cesaro and Sheamus should split up even though they're white hot right now, and that's no pun on Sheamus's pigmentation. I'm just gonna say that they need to be split up to help with Raw's mid-card and main event scene since it's a very thin division right now. The latest addition to the Royal Rumble match card is the 6-women tag team match between Nikki Bella, Naomi, Becky Lynch taking on Natalya, the returning Mickie James, and current women's champion Alexa Bliss. I feel like the best way to go here is to have Naomi pick up the win against Alexa Bliss, because it seems like Becky Lynch and Mickie James are going to go into a program with one another, and Natalya and Nikki seem like they're not done with each other, and it's pretty obvious that Alexa's going to need a number 1 contender, and Naomi fits the bill. If she gets a win over the women's champion on Sunday, it will solidify that she's the rightful number 1 contender. This next match here is probably going to be the easiest for me to predict. We have a Cruiserweight Championship match between Rich Swann and Neville. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that Neville walks away with the championship and dethrones the current champion, Rich Swann. Ever since his return at Roadblock End of the Line, Neville's been made to look very strong. Has been booked, rightfully so, as a dominant force in the Cruiserweight division. He's pretty much wrecked just about any single person he stepped in the ring with, and that includes the Cruiserweight champion, Rich Swann. I think right now is the time to get the title on him, get it on a recognized name and a big name that the casual fan knows. Because at this point, the interest for the Cruiserweights are slowly dwindling, and you need to get more eyes on the Cruiserweights, and Neville can help with that. So I got Neville going over. Bayley looks to dethrone the undefeated pay-per-view queen, current Raw Women's Champion Charlotte, this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. But unfortunately for this match, it hasn't really had the best booking up until this point. Yes, it's had its high points, but it's also had its cringy low points. And it's a shame because both of these girls are phenomenal talents and are going to put on a clinic and are going to steal the show. I'm looking forward more to this match than I am for the Universal Championship match, which is common and it's the norm nowadays with Monday Night Raw, because it really feels like the Raw Women's Championship is the main title on that brand. I am gonna go ahead and say that Charlotte retains the title. I don't think it's the right time for her to drop the title. WWE, without intending to, have created a perfect story narrative with that undefeated pay-per-view streak of Charlotte's. They've done that eventually when they found out. They did a nice way to protect that pay-per-view streak, have Charlotte lose matches on Raw without costing pay-per-view losses. It's kind of on the same level as the Undertaker streak, but not so high up there. I feel like the perfect time for Charlotte to drop the title would be at a big pay-per-view. Yes, Royal Rumble is a big pay-per-view, but nothing's bigger than WrestleMania. Imagine how amazing it will be for whatever woman defeats Charlotte at WrestleMania, finally dethrones her, and finally gives her her first L at a pay-per-view with the title on the line. Now, the rumored match is going to be, that I've been hearing is Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Charlotte in a Fatal 4-Way match. And I think that's the perfect time for Bayley to finally dethrone Charlotte and finally get the title on Bayley. She deserves to be women's champion. She's one of the hottest baby faces on either brand, regardless of gender. I am going to go ahead, like I said, Charlotte's probably going to retain here. I'm going to say maybe there's shenanigans involved. I don't think Bayley loses clean here, though. So now we have the very interesting WWE Universal Championship match between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, with the special stipulation that Kevin Owens' best friend Chris Jericho will be suspended above the ring inside a shark cage of all things. It's to ensure that Chris Jericho doesn't get involved, and we have a clean and decisive finish. And not only that, we just got a no DQ stipulation added to the match on Monday. I really don't know who's going to win. It could go either way here. I really hope Kevin Owens wins the title, but it looks like he's going to go into a program with Chris Jericho heading into WrestleMania, and it's probably going to be over the United States Championship, and Roman Reigns is probably going to get the title. The only way I'm okay with Roman Reigns winning the Universal Championship is if Finn Balor wins the Royal Rumble or just gets his mandatory rematch for the Universal Championship, and we have Finn Balor, Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and Finn, rightfully so, regains his Universal Championship. With that said, yeah, it's looking more and more like Roman Reigns is gonna win the championship, and it's kind of sad, to be honest, because Kevin Owens really hasn't had a very legitimate reign as Universal Champion. He's kind of been put on the back burner, in favor of the Women's Championship and the United States Championship. The Universal title right now kind of feels like a third or a second hand championship, and it just sucks because Kevin Owens is such a good worker. And it's gotten to the point where I have some friends that are kind of soured on Kevin Owens, and obviously there's millions of people that are sour on Roman Reigns. No one's looking forward to another Roman Reigns win, but we can only hope that Kevin Owens actually walks away with the Universal Championship. I have my fingers crossed, but I won't hold my breath for it. I'm going to go with Roman with the win here. So now we finally have the WWE Championship match between current champion AJ Styles and the challenger John Cena. And just like these two guys did at SummerSlam, they're going to tear the house down. They're going to steal the show. They're going to put on one of the best match, if not the best match of the night. If it wasn't for the Royal Rumble, I'd probably say that they're going to be the best match on the show. But the Royal Rumble, just on shock value alone, might one-up it. But don't be too surprised if they're the best match of the night. I'm gonna take a second here to elaborate on why I feel like AJ Styles is gonna walk away with the championship. He is looking to go into a program with Shane McMahon. He's been complaining, saying he hasn't been respected as the champion. He's been holding down the fort while John Cena's been gone, and hasn't really gotten the respect that he rightfully deserves. I'm a big AJ Styles nerd. I'm not gonna hide that fact. I love AJ Styles, is my favorite wrestler, and even myself have kind of been worked here and been annoyed with how lackluster he's been portrayed, as a champion. That whole some guy from Atlanta thing on Tuesday on SmackDown kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I really didn't like it. Going into this match, AJ Styles feels like the sympathetic babyface, and John Cena is coming across as the entitled heel. You get me? Like I said, AJ Styles is probably gonna win here, and what I've heard so far is that he's gonna go into a WrestleMania match with Shane McMahon, and I guess whatever. He's probably not gonna lose the title until the Elimination Chamber. That's the reason why they have that match there, and John Cena shouldn't win the title just yet. If I were to have him win the championship and tie Ric Flair's record, what better place to do it than WrestleMania? I feel like maybe that's where he does it. Maybe The Miz or Dean Ambrose or Samoa Joe wins the Elimination Chamber, and that's how you get the title off of AJ. But I don't feel like the time and place is this Sunday. just have AJ hold on to the title just a little bit longer, get one more win on John Cena, and just solidify him as that main event guy. And then just as it seems like he's gaining some measure of respect, he goes ahead and gets added to this Elimination Chamber match and loses the title that way, and builds on his frustration so that he has a reason to challenge Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. So, like I said, AJ Styles holds on to the championship just a couple weeks longer. So finally, we have the main event of the evening, the Royal Rumble match itself. And like I said at the beginning of my video, this has been the most unpredictable Royal Rumble match in recent memory. There's a legitimate 5 to 10 different guys that can walk away with the victory on Sunday, but before I give you guys my pick as to who will win, why don't I give you guys a little plots and subplots that will take place in the Royal Rumble match itself. At least I hope so. I would like to see Sami Zayn come out as the #1 entrant, play on the fact that Stephanie McMahon doesn't like Sami Zayn and likes to make his life a little bit harder and more difficult than it needs to be. And number 2, I want to see The Miz come out with Daniel Bryan's theme song, doing the whole yes chant down the ramp. For a second, it'll give the fans that OMG moment, and they'll, for a second, like I said, believe they're gonna get Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn. It'll be amazing. It'll get tremendous heat on The Miz, and I would enjoy it. It would be a nice little kick, and it's something that I heard on the internet that has really been making the rounds. Another thing that I want to see happen is the New Day come out simultaneously. All 3 members simultaneously, one after the other. One gets in trouble, the other one comes in to help, the other one gets in trouble, and then the other one comes out to help. Something like that. Really emphasize that yes, this Royal Rumble is everyone against themselves, but those 3 guys have each other's back. The last thing I want to see happen is James Ellsworth and Goldberg have some kind of interaction with one another. Have James Ellsworth attack Goldberg from behind or something, and just get destroyed for like 30 seconds and get eliminated immediately. That's what I want to see happen. My final 4, I'm going to go with Samoa Joe, Chris Jericho, Finn Balor, and Undertaker, or Baron Corbin. I really don't know just yet. But as to who will win the Royal Rumble match itself, I'm going to go with Samoa Joe as the winner. I've been hearing recently that it's going to be John Cena versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. Well, not for the WWE Championship, but at WrestleMania. I think it should be for the WWE Championship. And if Samoa Joe wins the championship, wins the Rumble, he will go on to face the champion on SmackDown or Raw. Then AJ Styles could drop the title to Cena at Elimination Chamber, and that's when Samoa Joe faces Cena at Mania. I think that would be a nice little like feud to go into WrestleMania and have a very high profile match. It's a match I really want to see, considering these 2 guys have history with one another. Finn Balor would be my backup choice to win the Royal Rumble, but that's only of course if Finn's in the match itself. If not, I'd go with Undertaker or maybe Chris Jericho. But my heavy favorite is Samoa Joe, obviously, as you can see on the screen in front of you. But who do you guys think will win the Royal Rumble? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this, and share this video with a friend. Spread the love. But more importantly, enjoy the Royal Rumble this weekend, guys. I know I will. Follow me on all social medias at SESvince. I've been your host. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.